Hi guys, it's Sandra here from createinspain. Welcome to the Bling Video Hop. Now I'm going to be doing a card today which is very much blingy. It combines a few different elements and, put it this way, it's a little bit over the top. I think you're going to find it great fun. Now I'm starting off with a card base and it's a lighting up card, so I am just tracing over some lines so that you can actually see them. You couldn't see it before. I've got my card front panel and what I want to do is to draw in these circles because this is where my lights are going to go. So I want to make sure that my copper tape goes on one side of there and the other side of it to make sure that all my lights are going to work nicely. I'm using this case which I designed recently for the battery so that it can be removed if someone wants to remove it, but what I'm not doing on this particular card is putting a switch in, and the reason for that is because it has so many lights on it. If I was to keep this lit up with a switch, the chances are the lights wouldn't last that long on the battery. So I thought it best not to give someone the temptation. Okay, I'm going to have to make sure I put my card around the correct way. So yeah, that's it. And I'm just going to put a little arrow on there and a little arrow on there. Sorry, you can't see it without a shot. Put an arrow on here, an arrow on there, so I know which way round this has got to go in order for everything to match. Okay, so I'm going to start off with doing my base. Now, I did my mock-up here just to make sure that I understood exactly where everything was going to go. And the first thing I need to do is actually put my battery case on here, so I can do that with some double-sided tape. Now, if you're watching the video hop, which I hope you are, please remember to be nice to the people taking part, to leave comments, nice comments. If you've got anything bad to say, keep it to yourself. We don't want any negativity here. And subscribe to those channels that you think you will enjoy. Make sure when you subscribe that you have your device settings switched to allow notifications, or else you won't get them. Okay, so I've got this part down here, and the first thing I want to do is to put my inner coil around the inside, making sure that it touches the inside of these circles. So this is the first copper tape put down. Now, if you don't quite get it where you want it to the inside of these circles, don't fret about it too much. As long as you have a proper conductive adhesive tape, you can always put another tiny little bit of tape over the top and it will still work just fine. Press it down nice and firmly when you've got it in place, and then you can do the other one. Now, the other one starts off from the outer side of the circle, goes around there and then goes up over the top of this flap and then down to the inside, like this one does here. I have my circuit completed, and you'll probably notice I've put some pieces across here where each of the lights go. And the reason for that is because I am using these very tiny little lights, and there is a very small gap between the positive and the negative. And the gap that I have here, although was the right size for the light in the hole to show through, it was too big and the positive and the negative couldn't actually touch the correct areas. So I just put a strip across each and then cut out a piece of about 2 millimeters just with a craft knife. And that way I know that I can place them where they need to go. I've checked with my top layer that they're in the right place, and they are. Now, I suggest when you're doing more than one light that you put your battery in to test each one as you put it in, because there's nothing like doing the whole lot and then thinking, which one is it that isn't working? It's soul destroying. The other thing you may notice is that I've put extra copper tape on the inside here. I've put extra around here, and I've also put a piece over where this flap bends, so it's got some extra protection. And I'm just going to put a little bit more tape over that area there, just to make sure that that's going to hold strong as well. It's a bit of a belt and braces approach, but I would much sooner use some extra copper tape than have the card fail on me later on. Now these little prongs sticking up here will stop the battery from falling out, but allow someone to actually change it. So as you can see, it won't fall out. By the time it's got the front on here, it will be pretty secure. Now I do intend to put a piece of card, when I've made it, in here to make sure that nothing connects while it's actually in the post. It won't connect until this piece of card is removed, but I will slot that in later on. These lights that I have taken out of strip lighting have a mark on the top of them, and I know which way round they should go because I can see that mark. So I know that this is supposed to go in that direction, and I need to make sure that it's correctly placed. Over my pencil mark, and there we go, that will light up. Now these are multicolour lights, which is a great fun because they will change, and I have no control about what colour they actually turn and when they change colour, but they're good fun. So now I need to sort out my front panel here, and what I'm going to do, because the theme of this is bling, I'm actually going to put some rhinestones around these holes. I've added my rhinestones, and I've put some in the corners as well, and I've put a layer of different colour rhinestones around the centre piece. There we go. And I've put some around the centre circle as well, but I still haven't finished with the bling on here. I've cut out some little flower heads, and I've put double-sided tape on the back of these already. And these are cut from a sparkly glitter card, a silver glitter card. So they really do add a nice touch of shine on here. So a little ways out from the corner. There we are. So that's my front panel completed, but I still haven't finished with the bling factor. Our base has a circle in the middle, and I'm going to put some more of the mirror card in there. And then I'm planning on doing a shaker element. Did I mention this card was very blingy? Right, let's see if I can put that in the centre. There we are. So my shaker element is going to go on top of that, and of course that's going to provide some extra reflection for the bits that aren't covered by any sequins. Now for the shaker part of the card, I've got my reflective backing in here, and I cut out a ring of foam with my cutter, and I backed it both sides with double-sided tape. So that means I don't have to try and put double-sided tape in a circle, which is never easy. I have so many pretty things I could put in the middle, but I've decided to restrict my colour scheme just a little bit. So I've got some of these transparent little sequins. I have some silvery sequins. I thought those would add a nice little touch. They're a little darker, and I have a whole load of stars here, and I think these would be really, really pretty. So I'm going to add a few of those. I'm going to add a few little white stars as well, I think. There we are. I've avoided going for the pinks, and these are a bit of a chameleon colour. I'm not quite sure what colour they're supposed to be, but a bit of chameleon. So put a pinch of those in as well. Whoops, escapee. There we are. And now I have some glitters that I can put in. Now these are chunky glitters because a fine glitter just doesn't really work in something like this. I'm just going to see what I've got that might be suitable. I think it's going to be the silver and the white. So a few of these. A few of the white ones. And because this paper or this card has got a bit of a light reflective purpley tinge, I'm going to put a few little purple ones in as well. Why not? Okay, I think that's enough even for me. And so next thing I need to do is to remove this sticky backing. And I've already cut a piece of acetate. In fact, I cut two just in case I messed up. And I've got a piece of acetate to go over the top, which is the same size as my foam circle. I've still got an escapee somewhere. So that's going to be the centre bit. I need to put my escapee back in its container. Oops, I've just lost it again. Determined. I am not going to lose any of these. They are just so nice. I don't want to waste any. They're just gorgeous. There we are. Back in its container, safe and sound. So that is the shaker element done. If I take my battery and put that in there, I can now switch my lights on. Some of them will go off at odd times. They are sequential lights, so that's what's going to happen. And oops, I need to put it up the right way. Got my arrows on there, remember, to tell me which way I'm supposed to do it. And it's going to light up when pressed. Going to cut a small piece of card, like I did before, so that I can put that in there and the battery won't actually do anything. So the only thing I need to do now is to put some tape around the outside of here, some foam tape, so that I can put the front of my card on. So here we have it, my very, very bling card front. I've not put it on a card base yet, and I think this has come out pretty well. It's definitely very blingy. And I love the shaker element in here as well. If I switch it on, we get the lights coming on, cycling on, I have to say, because of the type of lights that these are. But that is a pretty bling to my way of thinking. So here's the finished card. I mounted it onto some gold backing, then added a whole load of rhinestones around that as well, and put it onto a white card base. I hope that you will continue to watch all the other videos in the hop. The link to the next one will be down below. Please be kind, leave comments, leave thumbs up and subscribe to the channels that you enjoy. Take care, have a great time on the video hop.